All systems go. Clear for liftoff.
What is going on, SHIPIT Nation YouTube station? We are back with a birthday edition of the MLB Quick Hit video. I got my guy Gyiraszin in here with me. You're probably thinking, what the hell am I doing? I got Ham in here and not Title. We did a little flipperoo for today and Friday, so you'll get Title on Friday with Nades. We're wrapping up the PGA show. I don't know if you listened to any of that, Gyiraszin, but we're going to have some stragglers, some diehards, if you will, coming over here after that PGA show with all the giveaways that they had over there. But I'll pass it over to you before we get into it. How's your Wednesday going? How are your safety meetings going? Your cards looking good back there in the background?
Yeah, man, doing good. Hey, Michigan, we finally turned the corner. It's been nice and warm around here. Can't complain at all. But yeah, do a little bit of the day job. Had to get some robots and get all them up and running. My company repairs robots and stuff like that. So I was getting a call this morning, butt ass early. Hey, my shit's down, but whatever. I woke up thinking, man, it's SHIPIT Nation's birthday. It was a lot of fun, here in this first year here at SHIPIT. I know, we got to all meet up in Arizona. We had a good time with everybody. And, me being the oldest guy of the group, had a lot of fun. But man, that golf, when we went to that golfing, man, I think we walked like 32,000 steps. And my knees and feet are still telling me, you asshole, don't do that again, Ham. That was not too nice on the back and the legs and all that shit. But
I could only take it one day. I could only take it one day of that. It was too much for me. Too hot. Too many people. Too much walking around. Too many crowds. And hey, I'm right there behind you in the age department. We got the elder statesman, if you will, on this show today. Hey, we got more knowledge. Hey, the Nades and Title and Hebrew, those guys can party into the wee hours. Well, you can party with the best of them. Who am I kidding? But I got to get to bed early and wake up and feel refreshed.
Yeah, I mean, hey, doing like back-to-back days like that, I mean, I don't care who you are. It gets to be tough. But, man, I'll tell you what, though. SHIPIT's birthday, like, I still can't get over it. It's been 1 year. It just seems like it went so fast. I just can't get over it. But a lot of fun being around everybody. We got the golf coming up this week. We've been rolling with some baseball. Did pretty decent yesterday. Man, we were just talking before the show started. Man, Cease was right there on the cusp of getting that 10th K, had 8 sitting there, and Sale come out, zinging it. Yesterday, Ham was like the first time I was really intimidated by the pitching, not to be left out of the good pitching yesterday, because I just thought it could beat us. It ended up, Sale worked out pretty well, but Cease didn't fare too well. But hey, it seems like the chalk pitchers have been getting beat up this year. But man, we'll get back at it here today. We got 7 games. Got to talk about. Looks like we got a little bit of weather in one of the games, from what I'm understanding. Looks like that Yankees Minnesota game.
Yeah, that's
like it with yellow orange.
You got some pitchers in there that you may want to play, and obviously the Yankees bats. But yeah, let's got Brandon here. BJ and I did the show on Monday. Hey, he was all over the Guardians, Gyiraszin, and I was all over Michael Lorenzen because they trotted out 7 lefties. Got that no going into the 6th, but hey, you still needed the Guardians, because they went off. They went ham in the 7th and 8th and 9th when they took Lorenzen out. So, BJ, I'll call that a draw, man. You got there. I got there. It was a win for all. Good time. Hey, listen, Gyiraszin, I thought about this. I was like, I may be hosting the show today. I was listening to you guys yesterday, and I could feel it in your voice. You were disappointed. You don't ever get to say hello to the people in chat. So today it's all you, my man. Go ahead and give a shout out to everybody in the chat so far.
Yeah. I don't like to steal everybody's shtick. That's Title's thing. He likes to say hi to everybody, gets everybody fired up. It's good. But hey, we got Greg here already. Man, he was in here early, 12:55. I don't know when the hell that was. That was yesterday or something. I don't even know. But Brent Jones, Connor, Sean, you told me. Cal Control did. Hey, that's baseball, man. That's what I like about baseball. It's not easy to predict. It's a lot of, it's tough, but you know what? I look at numbers. I just look at what the odds are. But that's the thing with baseball. You got a gut feeling. You got a gut about somebody. You go for it, man. Like, I'm just trying to let you know what I think, the percentages are. and what the odds are and what your likelihood. I mean, if you were to play that 100 times, it may not fare all that well to you in the majority of the times. But hey, it worked out. Can't complain. But let's dive in a little bit today. I think we got some day baseball we're sweating out too. I don't know if you ended up getting anything in there this afternoon, Ham.
No, I read your slate plan, but I didn't get there. And our guy Sean V is always in there giving us the narratives. Hey, Sean V, the birthday narratives, man. Nico Horner, I thought about you too. All I do is thinking about you guys. Nico Horner went over against my guy Reynaldo Lopez. Yeah, of course the Brewers go for 10 today. I was all over them yesterday. They did nothing, but yeah, day bases. You got any sweats going on right now?
I'm looking at a little bit. Some of the games haven't gone off yet, the later games. So all those people with the early, sitting there thinking they're sitting pretty. Brewers did throw up 10 spot. Looks like Contreras hit a homer.
Did he? Yeah.
And whatever else.
Scores.
Yeah, I like the Brewers yesterday too. Brewers and Reds. I was on yesterday I had Sale over on DK, and I ended up going with Cease just because I had the salary. There was some cheap bats you got to use. I actually threw in Dylan Carlson and that the 9-hitter there for the Reds that actually put up a bagel yesterday. It was 2 cheap bats. Help you get those expensive pitchers yesterday. But excited to break this down with you, Ham. Haven't done a show. I don't know if we've done a show yet this year together.
No, you know what? We did opening day, and then that was it. And they said, "Hey,
that's fair. That's
you
fair.
Go our separate ways." But Trevor Bryan does not want the shtick. He wants us to get into it. But I got one marketing piece to throw up. If you haven't heard, today is our birthday. We're turning 1. Hoop, Tambo, the whole crew. They had a vision 365 days ago. And if you're not a member yet, we'd love to have you over at SHIPIT Nation. Enter the promo code BDAY15. We'll give you 15% off for the entirety that you're here with us. And we've been rocking and rolling since we launched. We started with 2 sports, Gyiraszin. I know you remember. You were here from the beginning. It was it was baseball, and I believe it was MMA or golf. Then we added MMA. We added NFL, obviously, NBA this season with our guy Hebrew. We're rocking and rolling now. So head on over. Best Discord in the business by far. You got a lot of valuable members in there talking it up. But this is a 7-game slate. Shouldn't take us that long. We'll do what we always do, or what I always do. Unless you want to change it up, we'll talk DK pitching. You mentioned the weather, but let's go 9,800 all the way down to 8K. I'll have you note too. I'm assuming you've looked at FanDuel pricing because I know that you play over there. It's going to be a little bit different game. The pricing is just they got Tanner Houck on FanDuel all the way up to 11K, which is insane to me. They got Charlie Morton, the 3rd highest priced pitcher over there. The 2nd highest priced pitcher. They got Pablo Lopez, the 3rd highest price. So talk to me a little bit about, I know we normally do DK, but if you want to delve into FanDuel as well, talk to me about this upper tier on DK 9,800 all the way down to 8K.
Yeah, you're right. The pitching is, when I looked at the 2 sites, I was like, whoa, FanDuel actually is priced up a little bit today. But just talking with some DK, as you mentioned, we'll start up at the top here. We got Pablo Lopez, you got the Yankees, you got a little bit of weather scare. I think that's mostly from toward the end of the game from what I'm seeing there. But I mean, you're looking at a guy like Pablo Lopez. He's got pretty much, I'd say, probably the best skill set on the slate as far as strikeouts go. I mean, you're looking at a guy with 34% strikeout percentage over there to lefties. And I think he's at 28. I think it was righties. I think I was reading 31 altogether. Actually, yeah, 35 to righties, 28 to lefties. So, Yankees do have some strikeouts in that lineup. Don't mind that at all. Just a little concerned about the weather. 9,800 really isn't bad for a guy with that slate, but I do think there's a few arms here we could look at. You got Tanner Houck here against Tampa Bay. I think Houck is, obviously he's the highest priced pitcher up there over on FanDuel. He's had 7 of 8 quality starts. I think that's why FanDuel's got him up so high because, we are chasing that quality start over there on FanDuel. So I think Houck is definitely interesting, but man, 11K, that seems to be a little bit much for him, like since when is Tanner Houck, Spencer Strider is what I'm thinking. And then you got Valdez against Oakland. I think he's going to, especially on DK, I think he'll be probably the chalkiest pitcher just because of the matchup there with Oakland. So I do think he's at 8,800 over there on DK. Stroman, man, I'm not interested in Stroman. I just don't think he has too much upside. I'm not really interested in attacking the Twins. I'm sorry. Just not going there. Charlie Morton, I mean, he's just past his prime. He's a decent pitcher, just not really for me in DFS here today. Logan Webb, no thank you. I'm not going to be chasing the Dodgers, not going there. Lance Lynn, not going to do that either. Now, Taj Bradley, I think, is interesting against Boston. I mean, you just got the top half of that lineup that's really got anything that we need to be concerned about. But Bradley coming off the IL last start, ended up first start back, ended up having 90-some pitches, I remember. 93
pitches his first outing.
Yeah, 93 pitches. So that's definitely in play. He ended up taking a loss, still got 22 points. So, for the salary, we're looking at 8K. I think he's definitely probably standing out as one of the better value here plays today. We really don't have a pitcher that I'm looking at that even, really in the low end, like I don't know. I can't play Canning. I'm just not going there. I've seen some love for Griffin Canning out there in the world. And I'm not going there. St. Louis does suck balls, but I can't do it. But for me, really, I mean, you could look at John Gray against Cleveland. Cleveland just doesn't have enough strikeouts in that lineup for me. So I'm not really looking at John Gray here today either. So for me, I think it's pretty simple. I think it's either Taj Bradley, Valdez, Houck, or Lopez. I think those are the guys you need to look at here today. And really for me, I mean, if you wanted to risk it with somebody like Canning, you could, just because St. Louis sucks. But I think there's only 4 guys that I'm really even interested in playing here today.
Yeah, no, great breakdown there. I mean, the thing with Taj, your boy Taj Bradley, 90 pitches, 90-plus pitches, we like that. He couldn't miss right-handed bats. I'm out on Taj Bradley. I think that lineup came out. I know Tyler O'Neill. I like Tyler O'Neill. We'll get into bats, but I'm out on Bradley. I'm with you, though. These pitchers up here, I mean, you're not going to take Logan Webb against the Dodgers. For me, it's 3 pitchers. It's Lopez, it's Houck, it's Morton. Lopez does have 10 mile per hour wind blowing in, but you said there's any chance that it gets rained out. You obviously never want to play a starting pitcher if it's going to be a short game or anything like that. The Yankees are, have the most home runs versus righties in the season. So I might be down on him. So Houck against the Rays. Rays aren't any good, especially getting right-handed pitcher. I mean, it's tough to pay $11K. That's a big boy price tag over there. Don't mind 9,100. I'm actually out on Framber Valdez. Don't mind the A's bats a little bit. So it's Lopez, Houck for me, Morton. I don't think this Cubs team is very good. I know they've been, I guess, quote unquote hot recently, but I think Morton's coming back from the dead. Gyiraszin, he had a good couple last games against the Guardians and then the Mets, I believe. So I don't mind him against the Cubs. What about down here, 8K and below? 7,700 all the way down to 5,200. Ryan Yarbrough. Anybody in there? I know you mentioned Canning, Gray a little bit, so you kind of already did all this. But what about Javier Rosado, who's had a decent season? Braves kind of got on track last night with 7 runs. Matt Olson broke the slate. Any Carlos Carrasco love? Anybody else down there that you want to talk about?
Yeah, I mean, no Carlos Carrasco love for me. Just looking at Canning, he's only given up 2 earned runs in his last 11 innings. He just not really that big of a strikeout guy. He's got 8 strikeouts in his last 11 innings. I mean, I think to me, it's just more of a cheap, safe play if you wanted to go there. I mean, kind of looking at the pitching today, I'm not as fearful of the pitching at nearly even close as I was yesterday of losing in the pitching. So, yeah, I mean, if you wanted to go down there, I'd be open to that. I don't necessarily can't argue with you, chasing after St. Louis. They suck. So I couldn't do that at all. But I mean, for me, Lopez, Houck, Valdez, you mentioned Morton, there really isn't too much upside here, I think, on this slate here, and Lopez, like I said, from what they're saying now, I know it's only 3:45 here Eastern time. We still got another 3 hours to go, but that game they're saying could be a little bit of showers at the beginning and at the end of the game. There's some cells that are supposed to pop up. So definitely going to have to keep our eye on that. But, this may be a slate, now thinking about it, Ham, maybe a guy like Canning is in play a little bit more than, just thinking about it first, you're like, man, that's gross. Like Canning, I don't want to play Griffin Canning. But you know what? I don't really think any of these pitchers, and I think it is going to be pretty condensed today. I think it's only going to be 4 or 5 guys that are really going to garner the ownership. I think Valdez is going to be the most popular guy on DK today. I think that will probably hold true. And I think Lopez will probably come in at second. But, If you don't feel Lopez and Valdez really can beat you and put up a 30-some spot, then might as well pay down and let's go for some bats. But the thing really is, Ham, I mean, it hasn't been worth chasing some of these bats, like we're not seeing some of these, these softball games we've been used to seeing in prior years. But more I think about it, I think pitching is kind of condensed, but for me, the only guys on the bottom, I'm not chasing after the Indians with their, they just don't strike out. I'm just not interested.
They really don't.
And Yarborough's not in play for me. Just doesn't go deep enough. I mean, 5,500 for Canning, sure, maybe on DK, but I sure the hell ain't playing him on FanDuel.
No,
but on DK, I could see him sneaking in as an SP2 if you wanted to go there. And I feel good about it a little bit more so, like I said, because I'm just not fearful of getting beat by two guys throwing up 25 points.
Yeah, you talk about Valdez. It's going to be tough for Valdez to get there. I mean, he just doesn't strike anybody out. About 18% on the right-handed side. I mean, he's an extreme ground ball pitcher, which obviously you love to see. But, for him to beat you, it's going to have to be 8 or 9 innings, no runs, 4 or 5 Ks in a win, because he just doesn't strike people out. And this A's team has been pretty good against left-handed pitching over the last 14 days. So I'm going to put you on the spot. Top 3 pitchers of the slate. It's going to be condensed. I think ownership, you only got 14 to choose from. So ownership is going to be condensed. And you already said there's going to be numerous that are just going to be X'd out of everybody's player pool. Give me your top 3 that you're going to be playing tonight.
I'm going to go Lopez 1. I will go Houck 2. And then I'm going to say Bradley 3. I think Bradley might even sneak up there in my top 2, actually. As Sean mentioned, Bradley was really good in his rehab starts as well. So he had 15 strikeouts and 11 innings down there in AAA from what I saw. So, definitely something to keep in mind. I think Bradley at 8K. I'm going to move Bradley to 2. Let's call Lopez 1, Bradley 2, and then we'll go Houck 3. So I think Bradley today is my favorite guy. You could go Bradley and Griffin Canning. I think you could get pretty much any bat you want.
Well, the Red Sox did you a lot of favors because they rolled out 5 left-handed bats against Bradley. Didn't miss any righties last time and missed a ton of lefties. And where the Red Sox too, they throw 5 lefties out there. Don't agree with that managerial style, but hey, what do I know about that? With Bradley facing 5 lefties, I definitely think he's in play. I'm going to go Houck 1 for me, Morton 2. Then I would say Lopez would be 3. I do like Lopez a little bit better than Bradley. Let's move in to the games now. We'll go game by game. We'll start with that Tampa and Boston game. Both teams have around a 4.5 implied run total, so they must think they're going to score some runs in this game. You would think with 2 good pitchers, you would think it's going to be lower scoring than that. Any interest in any of these bats, or is it all going to be pitching for you?
I mean, we got a 7-game slate, and you're looking at all the games, as you mentioned, these over-unders. We got 2 8s, 4 8.5s, and a 9. So we literally, the whole slate is within a run, according to Vegas. So kind of a pretty balanced out slate. So there are probably going to be some leverage spots we're going to be able to look at and talk about here as we go forward. But, this Tampa Bay, Boston, you could definitely look at some Boston bats if you wanted. I'm just not particularly going to go after Bradley. As you mentioned, they're going to have a bunch of lefties in there. Bradley, 33% K rate to lefties, 26% K rate here to righties. So, I just can't go there. Devers just isn't doing it enough for me. I just don't like the top part of this lineup. This Tampa lineup, I'm not really interested in either going after Houck. I mean, this bottom of this lineup is just garbage. I think there's better spots, but I do think that Boston's in a little better spot. If you want to use some one-off guys, I think that the Tampa guys wouldn't be bad one-offs because I think Houck will be pretty popular. I can't say anybody really stands out for me, but if you want to look for leverage, I think there's only going to be a handful of pitchers today that are going to be owned. So if you wanted to use any one-offs against them, I think that would be a preferred route.
Yeah, I'm with you there. It'd be one-offs for me only on Tampa, only the righties. And then on the Boston side, it's Tyler O'Neill for me. I like Tyler O'Neill a lot as a one-off against Taj Bradley. I think he struggles more versus righties than he does lefties. Give me some Tyler O'Neill in this game tonight. Moving on to the next game. We're going Cubs. We're going Braves. We're going old school Gyiraszin. When I would come home from school back in the day, we only had WGN and TBS, man, and these were the only 2 games on in town. You probably remember some of those days.
Oh, yeah.
So you saw all the Cubs games in the day because they didn't have lights, and you got to watch the Braves at night. But anybody in this game, we got Javier Assad, as I mentioned, Charlie Morton. Any stacks, any one-offs, who you like in this one?
Yeah, I mean, the Braves are definitely going to be expensive. Definitely something you could look at. Jumped out yesterday with 7 runs, so don't mind that. But, I mean, I think I'd be more interested in like a mini stack. I like the lefties. I like Olsen. I like Albies. Ozuna obviously has been hitting well. I don't know if I'm going to get up to pay for Acuna, but, the Braves bats are definitely interesting. I mean, we've been talking about them all season. Definitely one of the best offenses around. The Chicago bats, I'm not really sure I'm going to tackle Charlie Morton here. But if you wanted to go that route, he's got a very low K rate here to righties. I mean, if you want to look at somebody like Suzuki, maybe Morel, Horner, somebody like that, you could do that. But I'm just not interested in attacking him. I think the Cubs would be more left for if you wanted to go one-offs. And I see you in there, Michael W. You want me to tell you what team can't hit out of a paper bag? We might get to that, but this is actually a pretty decent slate. There isn't any games down to 7, but you're right. It seems like every time I say that, especially it's just been the Indians, really. But they're still not hitting homers. They might put up a bunch of runs. It's only Josh Naylor and Jose Ramirez that are hitting homers for him. Bo Naylor hit one yesterday, but still. I mean, it's just at the end of the year, I guarantee you they'll be bottom 5 in the MLB in homers. So,
yeah, I hate it's impossible to stack them. I mean, like we saw earlier. I mean, BJ said Lorenzen had a no going into the 6th. They round up with 7. Yeah, they just don't hit any home runs, and against right-handed pitching, they're very bad. But enough about that. We're talking Braves. We're talking Cubs here. Sean likes where'd it go? She likes Olsen as a one-off. I don't hate that. I actually like Ozzie Albies as a righty, as a one-off lefty against Assad. Assad has been absolutely dynamite against right-handed hitters all year. I think that changes today, Gyiraszin. I'll tell you why. Assad's been very good, extreme ground ball pitcher, almost at 50%. He just doesn't miss any bats. And we know the Braves team struggles with high fastball, high strikeout pitchers, which Assad is not, striking out about 20% of right-handed hitters. I think the Braves can get to him. Acuna's been struggling all season long. Marcell Ozuna's even higher price than he is, which is crazy to say, but I think the Braves get to him today. I don't mind a mini. I haven't seen that lineup if it's out yet, but I like the Ozuna in the 3-hole. Yeah, you got Acuna, Albies, Ozuna, Olsen, that first 4 right there. That's pretty dynamite. Don't mind that at all. And then no Cubbies for me. I think Charlie Morton is resurgence of Charlie Morton, and I think he gets it done today. Moving on to the next game. Let's talk about this game as it does play. I know we got some rain or some weather up there. Let's talk about these Yankees. Any love for Aaron Judge and crew or anybody on this Minnesota team? I had some Minnesota stacks last night, Gyiraszin, and I was counting my money after the 3rd pitch of the game. I had a home run. Ryan Jeffers, I was cruising. I knew Carlos Rodon was going to get lit up. And, man, I checked the app again. They still had 1 run in the 9th inning, and I was like, oh, hell no. There went all my money. So any love for those Twins? We know Stroman has been struggling this year. He's given up a lot more power to lefties. But who you got in this game?
Yeah, I think, I'm not going to go after Stroman. He's just such a high ground balling. I'm just not really interested there. I think there's just a couple other spots I'd rather attack here today. But, yeah, you mentioned the Twins. I actually had Jeffers in a few as a one-off, very expensive catcher yesterday. And as you mentioned, hits that home run. I was kind of in the same boat thinking, hell yeah, it's always nice when you're looking at your app and you got like a first home run like right off the bat, or you get the first home run of the night. You always like that. But, yeah, I'm not really interested in going against Pablo Lopez here at all. I think, you could get some leverage here if you wanted to go there with the Yankees. But, we're talking about a guy here missing all kinds of bat, mid 30%, 37, 36% here. You got Stanton at a 35% K rate here recently. He's one that I could see getting the sombrero here today and striking out 3 or 4 times. But, lots of power in this Yankee lineup. If you wanted to go there, great. This game does have an over-under. Like I said, every game is between 8 and 9 here today. It's sitting at 8. Actually been bet down from 8.5 down to 8. So definitely some love coming in for the pitching side here in this game. So, yeah, I think there's some better spots to attack here, Ham.
Yeah, I don't hate it. It would be. I'm not going to stack the Yankees. Obviously, you don't need me to tell you Aaron Judge is always in play. It would be the lefties for the Twins for me tonight, and their confirmed lineup is out. Looks like we got 6 lefties in the lineup. But, hey, Stroman is tough because, like you said, he's an extreme ground ball pitcher, but he's given up almost a 14% barrel rate to lefties this season, so I don't mind some of those lefties in that lineup. We're about halfway through. If you are new, if you haven't joined us yet, make sure you hit that like. Make sure you hit that subscribe. We got about 50 people watching right now. Even if you come in after we're done, make sure you hit that like. We're almost up to 7,000 subscribers, so make sure if you're not a subscriber, head on over to SHIPIT Nation and subscribe today. Moving on to the next game, Gyiraszin, and we're rocking and rolling. We got your favorite team, the artist formerly known as the Cleveland Indians, still in Texas, beating up those Rangers, those putrid Texas Rangers offense. They get a break tonight. Your boy Cookie Carrasco on the bump. Will the Rangers finally break out of the slump tonight? You going to Cleveland? What you doing in this one?
Yeah, I can't go Cleveland there. Gray, I just respect them just enough. And I don't think the Cleveland lineup is going to get it done today. I mean, if you want me to, William, I'll say I can't hit their way out of a fucking paper bag. But, so there you go. You can stack up your Indians now. But the Texas Rangers, I think, are definitely interesting. One of my top stacks today, Carlos Carrasco, is just garbage. Strikeout percentages are in the teens, both sides of the plate. He does have a higher ground ball lean, higher fly ball rate to righties, which I like. I think Semien and Garcia today are excellent plays here today. Definitely like all sides of this Texas lineup. And really, Ham, there, you look at all these lineups from 1 to 9, there isn't too many that, you feel comfortable playing 8 and 9 hitters. Texas definitely has a lineup that you can do that. So I think Texas here today is one of the stronger plays, one of the better stacks here today. So I think Carlos Carrasco is in a world for hurt today. So give me some of these Rangers. Now, the only bad thing is Cleveland's got the best damn bullpen in MLB. So, you're going to want to get your runs early, get after Carrasco. You're going to need to get some crooked numbers in that first 4 or 5 innings because that bullpen is, like I mentioned, tops in MLB. Don't generally like chasing there, but hey, we got a 7-game slate here. I think they could get enough to Carrasco, but I do respect that bullpen enough to where I won't have the Rangers my top stack, but definitely one of my favorites.
Yeah, one of the top ERAs in the bullpen, one of the top Sierras in the bullpen. Yeah, if you don't get to them early, if it's a close game, yeah, you might as well go ahead and shut it down because they got a pretty strong bullpen. Absolutely. Yeah, Cookie Carrasco striking out less than 19% from both sides of the plate. Someone said in the chat, this is the get-right spot for the Rangers. If this isn't it, Andrew, I don't know what is. You're at home. You got a bad pitcher on the hill. You're in a losing streak. So, only way to go up from here. And then the Guardians, John Gray, he does very, very well against right-handed hitters. Misses a ton of bats. Strikeout percentage is, what is it from the right-handed side? 26%. Just doesn't strike out the same clip and miss the same bats. I know the K percentage is close, but he just doesn't miss many bats. It's tough to play those Guardians. I'm not going to stack them just because they are awful. I'm with you. They'll think they're dog shit as well. So no Guardians for me. Definitely love the Rangers. They will be popular tonight. Head into the next game. This is going to be an interesting game where I think we maybe disagree. We got Aaron Brooks heading into Houston, making his major league debut, taking on this Astros team that you needed on Monday night. You hope you faded last night, maybe outside of Bregman. The A's get Framber Valdez. I'll have a little bit of interest in the A's. Interested to hear your take. They've been red hot in the last 14 versus lefties. Talk to me about this game. Any A's love? Any Astros love?
Yeah, I'm not going to get there on the A's. I know you mentioned them a little bit before. I just respect Framber enough to leave him be. But I will say the Astros to me today are my favorite stack, top stack. We got guy making his MLB debut. And then you look at these numbers here in the last 7 days, man, Alex Bregman is just absolutely slugging the shit out of it. It's 917 slugging percentage. You got Kyle Tucker up there as well. You got Alvarez, but man, Bregman finally turned the corner here and actually been doing something here recently. He's definitely in a hot streak. So definitely like that Houston lineup. It's another lineup that I like from 1 to 9. I think they're my top stack here today. So Houston for me, give me all the Houston I can get. I like all of them. I like Pena. I like Bregman. I think is a good play here today. Tucker, obviously Altuve. So yeah, definitely like me some Astros today. I think they are going to be my top stack. Reason being is because I respect that Indian bullpen enough to not call the Rangers my top stack. So give me the Astros top stack for me here today.
Yeah, they're going to be popular as well. Getting a rookie making his MLB debut. He's a ground ball pitcher, but hey, it's a little different level when you're coming up here facing, some of the best hitters in the game in Pena, in Yordan Alvarez, in Tucker, in Altuve, Bregman. The list goes on and on. I'm with you, 1 through 9 on the Astros. I don't mind these A's. I know we're a little bit different there. Give me these righties. Zach Gelof, if he's in the lineup, Ruiz, who can steal bases and go yard. I don't mind these righties. And from the looks of it, looks like they're going to trot out 9 righties. So, yeah, definitely like those A's tonight as a contrarian stack. We got 2 games left to talk about. Another interesting game. We got the Cardinals taking on Griffin Canning. Any love for any of this game? I know we think the Cardinals stink, but does Griffin Canning stink at 5-5? He's going to be popular. Talk to me about this game. Any Angels love? We didn't talk about Lance Lynn. So does that mean you like some of these Angels bats? Talk to me about this one.
This is one of those games where I think both offenses stink and both pitchers stink, if you ask me. I mean, I wouldn't feel comfortable playing either. I mean, if you wanted to go Canning, you definitely could go Canning, like I mentioned a little bit earlier, but I think that's just a risky endeavor. As we mentioned, the Cardinals bats have just been absolutely puke here recently. If you were going to go after Canning, definitely left side of the plate is where I'd look. Nootbaar, Gorman, somebody like that is probably where I'd go after, but definitely do respect Canning enough to leave him alone, especially because the St. Louis offense sucks. And man, I would love to be attacking Lance Lynn today. I think this guy's done lost it. So, but just, man, the Angels lineup they're rolling out is basically AAA-esque. I mean, it's just too hard to even think about rostering them. I mean, Mickey Moniak, if you wanted to, look somewhere like that, he wanted to go there. I mean, I don't know, man. There's just not enough there. I mean, I just can't do it, man. I wish they were playing a different team. I think Lance Lynn stinks. I'm going to stack up against them pretty much the rest of the year in good situations. I just can't go there with the Angels here today. So I think this game here, if there's any plays, Ham, I think I'd just probably go Griffin Canning just because of his price, 5,500 attacking a bad offense. But I think he might get some ownership over there on DK. So, I mean, you could find a little leverage maybe if you wanted to play some cards. I just can't do it. But, man, like I said, if the Angels lineup if it was somebody else other than the Angels, I think I'd be interested in them, but I just can't do it.
Yeah, I'm with you in the sense that I think Lance Lynn is pretty bad. We stacked against him with the Brewers last time out, and he got drilled. He's not any good anymore, losing a ton of velo on that fastball. But you said it, this Angels team is not fun to stack, but hey, I think I'm going to give it one more try against Lance Lynn with this team because I just don't think he's any good. And then I'm out on these Cardinals, man. They're just not any good. Haven't been all season. They just seem discombobulated at the plate. They're constantly changing their lineup. Their best hitter just went on the IL. So, yeah, I'll pass on that. And, yeah, I said Brooks was a rookie. I shouldn't have said a rookie, but I do believe he's making his first start this year is what I should have said, and not a rookie. Appreciate you, boss bro. Keeping me honest there. I think this is his first
old as shit, he said. He's old as me.
He's old as shit. He is pretty old. I forget who it was, but we were talking about the KBO days back in the day when I think it was Title and I. But, yeah, I think Aaron Brooks was in those KBO days, back during COVID, which I know you were grinding those slates with us at 4.
Actually, I did not, man. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to leave it be. It's just – DFS and sports betting in general, doing it for as long as, I've been doing over a decade, especially at DFS. You got to have them breaks sometimes, you got to cleanse out a little bit. For me, it's between football and baseball. I like to just shut her down for a few and, play a little bit. But KBO days, I was more or less playing poker online all the damn time, Ham. That and trying to sell my baseball cards because all that shit went up through the roof. And I was like, what? You want to pay me what for this card? Shit, yeah, it's yours.
Yeah. No, those are the good old days of online poker. Wish you could do that, but you can't really do that anymore. So, yeah, I think we see some fireworks, hopefully from the Angels side tonight. Griffin Canning definitely will be popular. If I'm seeing this right, according to what I'm looking at, the Angels have a 3 implied run total, so that's not very appealing. Moving into the last game before we wrap up on out of here in this 7-game slate, we got the Dodgers who scored 10 yesterday the quiet way. I think they hit one bomb by Shohei, but the rest were all singles and doubles. Taking on the Giants, got Logan Webb, extreme ground ball pitcher, doesn't strike anybody out, taking on Ryan Yarbrough in San Francisco, which I hate stacking this ballpark. But do you have any interest in this Dodgers team coming off a 10-run performance?
I mean, Logan Webb is just too good of a pitcher. I mean, you mentioned his ground ball rate. I mean, this guy's a 71% ground ball rate to righties so far this year, 63% to lefties. He's just not a guy that's going to get beat up. But, I'd never argue with you if you wanted to jam a Mookie in or somebody like that. I mean, he's definitely always in play, get you some stolen bases. It's just, like you mentioned, not a park you really want to chase after. Probably the worst park in all of major leagues, really, in my opinion. But I don't think there's really anything here. I mean, Yarbrough, I respect him. I mean, if you wanted to go Giants, I think I'd rather probably prefer that side just to go after that. Dodger bullpen isn't really the greatest either. So, if you wanted to maybe pick some one-offs from the Giants side, definitely will be low owned if that's something you wanted to do. Wilmer Flores is a lefty smasher. That guy loves him some lefties. So if you wanted to look at a Wilmer Flores, you could definitely go there. But just not something I'd stack. But hey, if you want to go one off, always a Wilmer when there's a lefty on the other side.
Wilmer against lefties. I don't hate Matt Chapman. If he's in the lineup against a lefty, those two guys. Well, I think Chapman will stay in, but so as soon as a righty or a lefty comes in, a righty comes in, and normally yank Wilmer. They're just so frustrating to stack. That ballpark, it's a one-off for me on the Dodgers side as well with a Mookie or Shohei or Freeman, whoever fits, maybe a Will Smith. But Logan Webb, we certainly respect him as a pitcher. We think there's other places to go. Before we head on out of here, give me your top 3 stacks. So we know you got your top pitchers. Give me your top 3 stacks. Then give me your home run call of the day, and we'll get on out of here.
I'm going to go Astros 1, Rangers 2, and then I'll go Braves 3 is where I think I'm going to go. And then my home run call of the day, I'm going back to Alex Bregman. Dude's hot as hell. I'm going to go Bregman, my home run call for today.
Bregman, I like those stacks as well. I like those. I got to get my A's in there, Gyiraszin. I like my A's. My home run call of the day is batting second. Just saw the confirmed lineup came out. Brent Rooker for those Oakland Athletics. Give me some Brent Rooker to take out the sinker ball or the ground ball pitcher, Framber Valdez. Anything else you want to say to the people before we get on up out of here?
Man, appreciate everybody sticking it out with us for here a whole year. I can't believe we got some exciting stuff. The best part is, man, here at SHIPIT, man, we constantly we're getting better, Ham. I mean, we get to hear a lot of the news before it becomes public, and every time, we'd get a meeting, and I'd be like, walk away with a meeting, like, damn, all right, like, this is awesome, like the Shiptimizer coming on board, that's going to be big once, everything gets honed in there. I know we're still trying to, work out the kinks and get everything together, so make sure you guys get over there, check that out, especially if you're a member. That is free, so make sure you go check that out. And then we got that 4 Deep sponsorship there with Tommy G and the boys over there with the sports betting. Tommy is he's just good. He's really good at sports betting. You got to pay attention over there though, man, because they do a lot of live betting and all that kind of fun stuff. So, I mean, hey, if you like to get in there and mix it up a little bit, definitely make sure you guys get over there and check them out as well. But man, always fun when I get to do a show with you, Ham. Definitely like you jumping in there. But hey, make sure you give Title a little crap for us on Friday. But hey, always good times. Love sitting back in the summertime, watching some baseball. I sit out in the garage with the door open and got couch out there and big ass TV and refrigerator and, nothing better sitting back there having some safety meetings when you just see a guy hit a home run and you're watching your thing. It's like a slot machine. How far am I going up? Hell yeah. You're top 5, whatever. It's always fun.
Yeah.
So,
you always check the app when your guy hit a bomb. Absolutely. Those Michigan summers, can't beat those. Hey, you mentioned it. I didn't bring it up earlier. We do have that Shiptimizer. It's the optimizer. Help to find you ship, and it's absolutely free for a limited time for anybody with a monthly, 6-month, or season annual membership. Hey, it's a game changer. It's a great optimizer that we just launched over here. So head on over to SHIPIT Nation. You can try us out. 15% off. The prices are going up. Today's our birthday. 2 codes enter. You can enter BDay15 to get you 15% off, or code Millie15 to get you 15% off as well. Certainly enjoyed it with you as well, Gyiraszin. Good luck to everybody in their contest today. We'll see you at the top of the leaderboards. For Gyiraszin, I'm Ham. Let's ship it.